Greetings! Today I will show you another module built into the Rekin system, a Still Editor. Still Editor. It is an editor for creating ready-made texts, graphic, panels or logos. Graphic designs that you've created can be used in 3D production and light production versions. We select Still Editor button on the Start page. From a drop-down menu situated underneath, we select resolution of our project and its video format. Start Editor button starts the application. The entire work screen is checkered in gray. It represents a transparent field of the program screen size on which we will place text and graphic objects. This is how you can create a caption, a new sticker or a logo that you can later use in your live performance. There is a menu at the top of the window with the following options that appear and in a drop-down list. Create a new project. Create a new project with a loaded graphic background instead of transparency. Load a project from a file. Save changes in the current project. Save the current project under a new file name. Export the current project to a PNG file. Go to the application's home screen. Available editing options are: undo the last action, restore the last action in case of a mistake, copy an object, paste, add an object, remove it, or show its properties. The view options will show us on the screen a color editor that is a filler editor, or an outline editor which is a border editor. Object menu allows us to move an object layer's position in the order relative to other layers or to choose an object's position on the screen. Text menu is where you can select text's font attributes and type. We can change font's type, its style and size. We can also enable underline or strike through option. Scene menu. Selecting properties, we can set the size of checkered patterns squares representing transparency on the screen. Change the workspace's size. Or show a final preview of our project. In Options menu, we can set the editor module's language and its graphic style, choosing black or white. We can also set high rendering quality or quick text editing in configuration option. Help options will show us information about the module. We can add a new object using icons on a vertical bar on the left side. Image, we click on this icon and with the cursor we indicate an object's position on the screen. A file selection window will appear. The application supports PNG, JPG, JPEG and BMP files. After a double click on the loaded image, a new window will appear with options. Path, files path on the disk. Preserve size on load. Keep aspect ratio. Shadow options. Enabled, turn the shadow on. Blur setting, blur radius. Blur color. And blur offset, that is a shadow's displacement. Another object is a frame. Click on an icon and indicate an object's position on the screen. We can move the object or change its size. After a double click on the loaded frame, a new window will appear with options. The frame object's parameters are as follows: width of the frame, inner and outer size, that is internal and external rounding of the frame. In Outline tab we can find contour parameters of the frame, pen style, which is a contour's color. Width is a thickness of the contour. The next tab, Color, is a fill color. From Style drop-down list you can choose a fill's type and then set its color. We can also choose Gradient as a file type. We can use a predefined gradient design or create our own. By clicking on a point marked with an arrow, we can change its color and position. We can save the created gradient design. We can choose its type or direction from a drop-down list. The next tab is Shadow. We enable a shadow with a tick in a checkbox. We set its color. Blur radius, a shadow's direction and its displacement. The following tab is Placement. The main options are rotation, scale, object's position, its size, and transparency coefficient opacity. Another object is a rectangle graphic object. Like with a frame object, we can choose its gradient or determine its color. Turn its shadow on or set all its position options in Placement tab. Let's load a text object. An edit window will open after double-clicking on the text. We can enter a content of the inscription in Text tab's Edit field. Let's change position of our text from horizontal to vertical. And let's also determine the distances between lines of text and between individual letters. As with the previous objects, the following options are available here. On the right side of the screen we have the Color editor and the Outline editor turned on. If we select an object, all the available options will immediately show up on the right side of the screen. We can change a color. Or a border of an object. Now we should properly position our objects on the screen to create a finished project. Let's create a typical new sticker that we will later use in our production. The elements of our project will be as follows: a rectangular object, a frame, a photo, and an inscription. We see that the order in which these object layers are arranged is not correct. So let's arrange our object layers properly. We select the object and with a right click, Choose the layer's position from the drop-down list. Let's move a layer with a photo to the very top. Its view will cover other layers. We can do so, that is, increase or decrease a position of an object layer for each of the elements. We arrange our text. Text and image objects have specific properties. We can edit them in the production module. It means we can introduce changes to a new stickers template prepared in Still Editor module. During the production process, for example, change the new sticker's inscriptions. We save our project under a new name in a rec.stil file. Let's see the final effect. Thank you.
Wrecking. Keen on record.